Welcome to Slow and Steady, the podcast where you get to follow along as we build products in public. Each week, we give you an honest peek into our lives as we share our struggles, our wins, and everything in between. I'm Benedikt, and I'm feeling enthusiastic.
And I'm Benedicte. Today is June 11th. This is episode number 203, and I am feeling tired. But tired because I have a cold, not like tired because of life. Maybe a little bit that as well, but mostly because I have a cold. But
yeah,
it's gonna
you
be.
look a little bit tired, so I can.
I mean, if the people watching, if my eyes start watering, it's most likely that I'm not silently crying. I will let you know if that is happening.
Well, depends on what a sad story I'm about to tell you.
Yeah, do you have any sad stories? I know you have a sad story. Michael is leaving.
Yes, I have a sad story. Michael is leaving.
I'm going to start crying on your behalf.
Yeah, that's actually a sad story. So, and also a little bit unexpected. Yeah, last time we recorded a proper update episode is a month ago or so, and back then everything was still nice and shiny and all good. But in the meantime, one of our team members, I mean, he's still working with us, but he let us know that he's about to quit or that he will be leaving, which of course is sad. It's Michael, who has been on the show in the past. He runs PG Mustard, and luckily for him, and unfortunately for us, PG Mustard is successful enough to support him full time. And that means that he's leaving us to work on his own product. So obviously it's sad for us because he's been a great part of the team. He's been super helpful with running our customer support. He's super knowledgeable, technical, and like super nice to everyone. Maybe a little bit too nice at times. But it's a real bummer to see him.
Great guy.
Yeah, he's an overall great guy, and it's a bummer to see him leave. But then again, it's for the best of reasons in a way, right? I mean,
yeah,
I'm super
it's not like, I don't
happy
like you,
him.
I'm leaving. It's like my main product is doing so well. I need to give it more time.
Exactly, and I'm super happy for him. And it's always weird when people say that, but I'm proud that he's going full time. I mean, I didn't do anything about that, but it's still, it feels good to see someone on the team move on to like what was on their roadmap or like in their dreams. And yeah, so, and that's what happened. He is super grateful. I'm super grateful that he offered to stay a little longer until we find a replacement for him and train the new hire, so there's a smooth transition, which is a nice gesture from him. Yeah, so long story short, what happened rather spontaneously that we went into hiring mode a couple weeks ago, I think 3 weeks ago, and started looking for a replacement. And I'm happy to say that last night we sent an offer to one of the applicants and they accepted, and they signed the contract today. So we'll be having someone new on the team soon. And yeah, I'm excited about that as well. So I'm enthusiastic. Let's see how it goes. I mean, you can only tell so much about a person from the interview process and test assignments and like a call or two, but overall it feels like we made the right call, and I'm excited to see how it plays out, and super enthusiastic that it will be a great fit. So yeah, that's the sad but also kind of encouraging update from my side.
Wow. Good or not? I want to say good luck to Michael, but I don't. That sounds like passive aggressive. Onwards and upwards, or something.
Onwards and upwards.
Upwards, yes. To Michael.
Absolutely, and I think it's probably time to have him on the show again at some point.
Yes,
to talk about what made a difference, like, because it's been slow for him. I think he's been building PG Mustard for a long time, and it feels like over the last year or so, maybe 1.5 years or so, things really started taking off, and that he's able to support him full time. That's awesome. Like that's milestone number one in a hopefully long row of big milestones for him. So I'm very happy for him. I keep repeating myself, but it's just
Yes,
true.
absolutely. Let's have him on this summer when I go into like summer mode and have no updates.
Yeah, sounds good. Let's do it. I mean, we should probably ask him still, but
Well, he
I'm I'm
listens to the show. Michael, let us
I'm
know.
yeah, I'm confident that he'll probably be up for another episode with us.
Absolutely. Anything else going on over at Userlist?
This is the biggest update, I guess. I want to say it derailed everything else, but that's not necessarily true. It's been relatively slow lately, anyways. But we are working on a couple of small updates that we're hopefully launching soon, mostly improvements to the workflow builder that we've been excited about, but nothing big to share or to announce yet. So that's good. One
How's
of
sales
the other
going?
sales, yeah.
Yeah, you don't want to talk about it?
I mean, overall, I think we became more serious about sales in our sales process earlier this year. And I want to say it works, but it doesn't work all the time, and it doesn't work with a specific group of customers. Um, we learned a lot over the last couple of months, and I think we have a better idea about like who our target audiences are. Like we have this self-serve small bootstrapped software startup that doesn't do demo calls and sales processes and stuff like that. They just sign up. And then we have this middle tier of like somewhat established businesses with a small team that know they should do email marketing, but don't actually know how. And those respond very well to our little bit improved sales process of like having a demo call and then having a road mapping call where we give them more guidance on how to get up and running. And a decent chunk of those also then buy our done for you packages where we do even more work for him and helping them get up and running. And they respond very well to that. And then what we learned in the process of the last couple of months that there's another segment of like big established company or like, I mean,
What we call
big as
enterprise.
a scale. Yeah, I'm not sure if it's low tier enterprise. I feel there's
They still
enterprise.
behave like enterprise.
Yeah, but like
I think the
bigger
behavior is more
team,
important.
I don't know, 50 people plus or whatever, they usually have their stuff figured out in terms of like what data to track and what emails to send and stuff like that. And they're usually just like looking to replace what they're doing right now with a new thing that's more catering to their needs or more flexible or whatever the problem is they're having with their current solution. And I want to say that we're getting further in those sales processes than we did maybe a year ago. But we're not reliably closing them. Like we are losing more. Well, let me take a step back. I think a year ago or so, we would lose 100% of those conversations within the first interaction with them.
Mhm.
Like they come on a demo call. I mean, maybe we lost them even before the demo call, but like the couple we got on the demo call, we had the demo call, and then usually during the demo call, it became pretty clear they were like, "Yeah, well, whatever, this isn't for us." And I feel like with the new process and maybe the new process and the new features like the workflow builder and stuff like that, I feel like we've extended that period until they say no further down into the sales process. So we get on more calls with them. They're actually comparing us to other solutions, and then at the end of the sales process, they still go with the other solution. But I feel like
You've spent more time.
it's still an accomplishment that they
Mm,
don't say no right away at the start. So we still have to figure some stuff out and
mm,
maybe see if there's like what the problems are specifically. Um, but to me, it's already an accomplishment to get a no after 3 calls instead of the first one or so. So yeah, still room for improvement, but overall, I'm hopeful that we'll figure it out.
So it's actually it's interesting because in the work that I'm doing with We now, where we do leasing of bikes, we're having similar conversations, but we're a little bit on the other side of the scale because we have a waiting list for about 100 people and we have no bikes. And until now, there's been quite a lot of like hand holding in the sales process where people, a lot of the potential customers want to come and test ride. Like they don't have any experience with this type of bikes. Like these bikes are expensive to buy. So it's not like something that they just buy and test, or maybe not that many of their friends have it. Anyway, so there's been like this quite a lot of like hand holding and like one-to-one sales. But we are looking into like, could we treat them more like SaaS customers of the self-serve variety? Because now that we have that, a lot of people on the waiting list, could we say, okay, we'll have 3 bikes available next month. Like whoever books them gets them. And then if there is some left, we can offer them test rides and we can offer them hand holding and that sort of thing. But like, if you're willing to just go for it, you get the bike, even though you're not on top of the waiting list. We haven't decided, but I think that it's going to be fun to see how that plays out and how we then, a little bit of the stuff that I'm working on will then actually behave a lot more similar to a SaaS that has like a waiting list to not overwhelm the systems, but it would be quite similar. And like the processes that we need to set up. But we'll see. I mean, it's more up to the founder to decide if they want to go with that kind of like hands-off approach or test it or not. But so we're kind of going in the opposite direction.
The opposite direction, yeah. I mean, and totally makes sense. For us, it's like more of like we go more towards like more sales, I guess. But it makes sense. I mean, in the end, those bigger customers spending a lot of money, and
yeah, because we also have business to business sales, and that is complete hand holding, right? There's people who go and they have physical meetings with the person in charge at the companies because we're very location based. So they will go there and they will have those conversations and they will create custom deals and the bikes will be ordered kind of for that deal. Because when it's business customers, it's easier to acquire the bikes.
Right.
But then for the private customers with such a long waiting list and so few bikes, we're looking to see, if we can do that. But then also we don't want to piss people off, right? If it's like comes off like, we don't even care about you, like just
Right.
So it has
You've
to be
been
done
on the waiting list for 2 years, but the one who's currently on the website gets it.
Yeah, exactly. So I've been thinking that it would be pretty easy to kind of make like a little bit like you send emails to the 5 first and you'll be like, we have 5 bikes available. You got, 48 hours and then we'll send it down the list. But jumping over the whole come and test the bike, like have a consultation about the stuff that you want on the bike. Like it's, you kind of have to take you have to make the decision kind of, online and not at the workshop. So we'll see. Yeah.
That
but I don't want it to be like total Hunger Games where it's just like
no,
also,
but I mean,
although there is no locking of the database in the airbase Airtable, so trying to like implement some kind of system where like people don't lose their bike on checkout if there's like 100 people coming to the site at the same time and we only have 3 bikes available. Yeah, I don't want to.
Yeah, but I mean, just like if you have 5 bikes and then like sending the first 5 an email, and if they don't respond within a day, that opportunity is gone, and you move on to the next 5. I feel like that's reasonable.
I feel like that's pretty fair. And also, we could even like code up a proper waiting list. Like you can see where you are on because now when you go to my page is only for the people who have a bike, but we could also let, waiting list people have a user and they could log on and they could see where they're at and like when we estimate bikes coming in. And there's also this thing that it's easier to get a bike if you accept winter biking, because a lot of people will end their subscription so that the bike becomes available in like October. So if you're willing to take the cost and have the bike from October, then you're more likely to get a bike.
Right, that makes sense.
Yeah. And what we've experienced is a lot of people who first experience winter biking love it, but they don't, like, they have to kind of be a little bit forced into the winter biking.
Yeah.
And then, and if you do like one season, then people keep doing it, season after season.
And they just keep it, right? They don't return it at all.
Exactly. Because there's very little churn except for those people who kind of try to get it only for the summer season.
You should probably also show the people who are just like in the summer season and are thinking about returning it, show them the current wait list.
Yes.
And let them know that come spring again,
you
might not be able to get a bike.
You are not guaranteed a bike. Well, that is actually clear because we've been talking about like churn reduction campaigns, and I don't think we've touched on that. I'm going to bring that back to the team on Monday because that is valid. Like, we hope to be able to buy a lot more bikes, but we still have. Sure. I mean, the waiting list just keeps getting longer and longer, so it's absolutely true that they might come back in April and there are no bikes for them to rent or for the season.
Yeah.
So together I think
convincing
like
them to stay longer is bad for the ones on the waiting list, but I think for the business in general, it's probably
so good.
Would be good if they just stay on the entire time, right?
Absolutely, because like a lot of that, I mean, there's continuous cost with servicing the bikes, but when you do like a change of customer service, like that is a much higher level of service than the services that are continuous, the continuous maintenance. But when you do when you take in a bike and you're going to hand it out to another customer, like everything has to, be changed and made sure that it's like,
makes sense.
So they get the perfect like start to their rental. Yeah. The other idea is also like to maybe entice them with, like a little bit of winter attire. There's this thing where you can put muffs on the bike handle and you put your hands in there and like you can get one of those for free if you keep your bike over the winter, stuff like that. It's lots of fun things.
Yeah, that's nice as well. How much is a bike per month?
How much is a bike per month? I should probably know this. I think it depends a little bit on if you do a 12-month, if you lock yourself to 12 months, of course, it's cheaper. But I think it's like median is around like 160 euros. I think.
Per month.
Or was that the pilot price? I think it's maybe closer to 200 now per month.
That's not cheap.
No. And this is, so the thing is, it's a car, like we're competing against owning a car. We're not competing against regular bikes. Because if you get one of these bikes and with the services and like all of the servicing that is involved with the membership or the subscription makes it so that you actually have a bike that will be there and will be able to replace a car for you. Right. So what they've seen is that services cannot be optional. So that's why the price is high. And that includes 4 services a year. It's a change of winter to winter tire and then a change to summer tire. And then there's 2 extra services a year because if the bike gets to be just like standing, in the backyard because it's got a flat tire or something like that has happened, then, it kind of loses its value and it's not worth it anymore. Yes. But if you have a well-maintained bike, then you can actually start to rely on it and you can get rid of your car. So that is like the value proposition.
Got it. Tell me more about those bikes though. Like, is it cargo bikes or?
It's called, I think they're, so my, the co-founder knows all about, I'm more into the bikes than I just wanted something I didn't own so that I didn't have to like be responsible for it. So I think they're under like the cargo brand umbrella, but the bikes that we have specifically and that they have decided on are the long tail bikes, but also some short tail bikes, but they can take a lot of weight. So the long tail bikes you can put, it's like on the image here, if somebody's watching, we can put an image in the description. The long tail bike, you can have 2 to 3 kids on the back tail.
Right.
or an adult. So most of the bikes can take 2 adults, like the weight of 2 adults. And then
Got it.
obviously if you have the long tail, you can then also have bags. So you can pretty much move anything within the city on these bikes.
Hmm.
So you
Interesting.
can do your like big shopping. If you have enough like ties, you can like put pretty big things on the back there and just like tie it down with like rubber bands. That sounds like small things, but like the large, I don't know what those are
Yeah,
called.
yeah.
Like the large rubber bands, the
Yes.
really
The
big rubber
launch.
bands. Yeah. Yeah. So it's like they're kind of in that like changing how a city works kind of startup,
Hmm.
which is kind of
Yep.
cool. Um,
That's nice. Yeah.
and as they say, it's like often hard to convince. Well, we have a lot of people on the waiting list, so it's been hard to get people to realize like how like revolutionary having one of these bikes is.
Hmm.
I don't know exactly what the cost of our bikes are, but when I was researching this myself, like buying one of the type of bikes that I was looking at as a private person was like, I think it was like 8,000 euros, around eight
Okay.
thousand
Yeah.
euros.
Yeah. It's like a car, right? It's
It's like a cheap car.
yeah. You can get a cheap car. Like, I mean, probably
Yeah.
not new, but still. What's getting a lot more popular around here these days is like cargo bikes where you like sit a little bit more back and have your handle on the back and then have like this big container box type of thing in front of you.
Mhm. So that was, I
Um,
think, like that's what I saw in the beginning, and that's what I imagined me buying
mhm.
when I was like looking at this. And then we came out with the service, and as I told previously, I was the pilot customer. I love being a pilot customer, and they didn't have that. And after getting one of these long tail bikes, or like this style of cargo bike, I realized that for most city travel, it's so much more agile. Like
Mm,
you can you can kind of operate like you would a regular bike. So if you're in the
right.
bike lane with one of these like basket cargo
Mhm.
bikes, you're taking up the whole bike lane, and like it's a little bit annoying for everyone. And you're kind of always carrying around this like extra big thing. But with these bikes, when the kid is off the back seat, you kind of just have it's heavy, but you kind of just have a regular bike. And I've moved on over to one of the ones that have a short tail but can take a full grown person on the back, just to have like an even kind of smaller thing for like inner city.
Mhm.
But it's hard to explain. Like you get on it, it's just like when I have a flat tire and I don't have it for a couple of days, like I f- I just feel like the city becomes so much
Smaller
bigger.
or
No, when I
bigger?
don't
Yeah.
have it,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
it
yeah.
becomes so much bigger.
Your the
But when I
area you can
have it,
operate in
I
is
feel
smaller, yeah.
so small. Like I can go anywhere in the city on 15
Right.
minutes with a bike. And
Yeah,
like
that's
I just
nice.
become more spontaneous because I don't have to like think about public transport, or if I had a car, like parking. Like it's just it's just such a
Yeah,
and
it's
that's why the
nice.
company's called Wee, because that's the feeling you
Woo!
get when you get on the bike.
Oh, I
This
love
became
it.
a sales pitch for Wii. So we, always looking for investors, by the way.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm constantly trying to figure out what, like, I mean, it's not like the founder of the company didn't do this before, but like what's a good way to make this scale, right? Like to make these bikes available and like have a way to finance those bikes and still, yeah, serve the 100 people on the waiting list faster than buying 1,000 bikes for a shit ton of money.
Yeah, but it seems like there are things that are happening, and I am not into this like conversation at all yet. But they went to something called micromobility last week, and it seems like there's like more kind of startups or finance startups, I don't know, that are like coming as part of kind of this wave of bike fleets. So like fleet
Hmm.
financing for bikes has not been a thing. Like for cars, there's a very established like, fleet financing. You know what you can sell a car for after it's been used for 2 years.
Right.
And we know, or like the founder knows now, because they've been following like the used bike market on these bikes for a long time. So like like she has statistics, or like we has statistics on what we can sell this for in the aftermarket and stuff like that. But there is no like, the banks or the finance, whatever, I don't know what they're called, folks
Right.
don't like, there's not like an established kind of algorithm for how much will you get back when a bike is sold out of the fleet, or those kinds of things. So it's like a very immature, like the financing side of it seems to still be a little bit immature.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if there's a way to make selling the bikes part of the business model, right? So you like basically buying them, keeping them on for a year or so, and then selling them, so you only have to cover the difference.
Mm-hmm.
And you might be able to make up the difference with the monthly fees or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Because the company we rented like last year we did a camper van trip through Sweden as our
Mm-hmm.
vacation, and I want to say company, but it felt like more like a dude in the neighborhood with a big parking lot. They're kind of like, it was kind of it's a franchise business model as well, apparently.
Mm-hmm.
And it looked like they were just like buying those camper vans and then renting them out until they sell them. Like they were basically both renting and selling at the same time.
So did they build them into camper vans?
No, they
And
just bought them from the factory.
oh,
they
okay.
just buy them from the factory,
Yeah.
then rent them out and advertise them for sale at the same time, basically. So
Hmm.
when you buy them, they are used, but like maybe for a year or so. So you're almost buying a new one, and they basically rent them out until they sell them, I guess. And
Hmm.
yeah, maybe that's the way to do this.
Yeah. I think
I don't know, right?
no, but I must say that I'm very happy I'm fractional CTO and not like fractional
Yeah.
CFO, because I have very little finance experience at this level. But I think all kind of ideas around those things are interesting, and I also I hope for a city's sake that there will be models that financing models that come out of this, so that you know folks who want to start these types of businesses have kind of like a proven financial model that they can use. Or
Yeah.
not, I don't know what if we call them models, but like if you decide to start leasing out cars, like everybody knows the economics of that.
Yeah.
And then you can do some optimizations and you can charge more, you can do lots of things with the business, but just like what the car actually costs to have for a year, and like what you can sell it for, and all those things I said, like those things are very known and proven, and there's like computer systems for them and all of that. But on the bike side, it's not. And then, like, interesting, this will probably be far into the future, but I think one of the things that they really want to do is develop their own bike, which is also super expensive. And the reason for that is like a lot of these bikes are not made to last in the same way. Like kind of like cars, like they're made to last in a way, but they're not. They're made to like look good when you purchase them, like sound good, like hype, like they, this much of that and blah, blah, all the, so the guys are
Hmm.
like, yeah, yeah, I want this bike. Uh, but then, especially in Northern Europe, when you do winter biking, my gear freezes quite a lot during the winter. So if I don't take it in, it will freeze, and then I have to be very careful with it in the morning, otherwise it will break when I go out,
Right.
like the gear shifting thing. And
Hmm.
there are like things you can do. Of course, you can make a bike that is not that much more expensive, that will hold up to the cold better, but also that is made for maintenance, where like it's easier to change the parts.
Hmm.
This is the
Yeah.
same thing with all electronics, right? They're not made,
Yeah.
they're like, we don't make it for maintenance, because nobody is making money off of it being made to maintain. But if
Yeah.
you have a company where you're actually renting these bikes out, it is very beneficial if these bikes are made to be maintenance, and that you can maybe swap. You don't have to use one specific part. Maybe you can like choose between different suppliers for different parts, or
Right.
I don't.
Yeah.
There are things that can be done that that doesn't exist kind of on the market. But to finance the development of such a bike, like that is also capital intensive. It's not like building a
Yeah.
SaaS, y'all.
Yeah, we're kind of spoiled in that regard with like startup cost is almost zero, right? Well, it's
Yeah,
mostly time, I guess. Yeah.
it's mostly time. Yeah, but that's a long good talk about we.
What's going on in your world?
What else is going on? Well, I've been heads down with we on like the SaaS side of the business, looking into our subscription modeling. I was going to ask you some advice, but we'll take that next in 2 weeks. We'll see. I've dug it a bit
Yeah.
further down, but I found some fun things. And I mean, this I don't know how old this company is. I was like 2020, something like that. Anyway, like things have been around for a while, and things are not needs change. So I don't want to sound like, oh, that was like not how you should do it. No. But one thing that we found is that and I had no idea this was possible, but we actually override the Stripe customer ID with our own ID.
Yeah, that's wild.
And I haven't dug into this too much, because what I've done now is that I've actually, created a table that connects kind of our customer ID with the Stripe customer ID, so that because we had some manually made Stripe customers and they were not connected to our customers in our database, right? So I've done that, but I kind of want to do a little test if it allows me to just like override the ID on like existing customers, because that would be pretty wild if that is actually allowed. But we'll see. The fun thing about it is that we weren't using TypeScript, and then somebody introduced TypeScript, and that's when they figured out this was going on, because the TypeScript definition for these functions, these SDK functions, tell you that this is not allowed. So we have a little TS ignore. This should not be done, but it's working. So do not touch.
Interesting. Yeah. Is it a bug or a feature?
What I think has happened with Stripe, like this is my imagination with Stripe, is like this was allowed, and then they were like, maybe not, and they just like removed all documentation of it, but it's like silently deprecated, but it's still there.
You told me this a couple of weeks ago, but it still sounds wild to me hearing it again today. I kind of don't want to believe you, but I know you wouldn't be telling lies about this.
No, because if you go into our Stripe and you click on a customer, the customer's ID do not start with like cuss and then underscore and then an ID.
Yeah.
They start with our Airbase record IDs. So,
yeah, that's wild.
That is
even
wild.
in the URL. Did you check the URLs as well? I wonder if
I didn't.
That would be interesting. But yeah, maybe this is a field that's just open to the public. And I mean, might be, as you said, like maybe this was allowed in the past, and then at some point someone figured out it's not a good idea, but 20,000 people are using it already. So
and it might
really
only be allowed on creation, which is like, it's not a big deal. You're giving it an ID and that's it. But as we know with our, when building systems, is that what I've also realized, if I copy an Airtable table over to another Airtable table, it gets new record IDs. So I don't want to have this connected. So, so one-to-one. So that's what I've been kind of working on. And I've also been hands down on a lot of the work that I do, which is it's fun. I realize I haven't coded that much. Let's call it on like
welcome to the job of a CTO.
Yeah. But not just as a CTO, but like in general. And it's been nice to just like really getting my hands dirty. And as I said in the intro, that I got a head cold, which is not conducive to like heads down work. So last night I was heads down with this like Stripe customer ID, our customers, trying to figure out where the discrepancies were. And then I headed into our Outseta weekly meeting. And one of the things about working at We is that I speak Norwegian all day. And they did their status update and I listened. So I was like listening to English. And then I was going to do my update. And my head, I was feeling really tired from all that work, but also just from like this head cold. And the update that came out of my mouth was just like, it's just like nonsense. And I was just like, I'm sorry, I'm sick. Because we have those meetings at night, right? And at least I can, tend to be, when I have a cold, it's in the morning and then at night. And then during the day, you're fine. Like you can actually manage. Now you can see so as I said, I've been heads down on the framer overrides and plugins, and had some really productive work sessions with ChatGTP, which I thought I'd never say. And it's been really fun to kind of just like ask for things. I used it actually when I also used ChatGPT when I was exporting all of these Stripe customers and the Airtable and stuff. And when you know what you want, it's it can like just type everything out for you, which is kind of cool. But so especially for framer overrides, it's that they have two things. They have plugins, which is like a little React mini application, and you can do whatever you want basically. But then for the framer overrides, you're not allowed to like depend on any npm packages and stuff like that. So I needed some little helper things that I might have reached for some packages that I know, and I just had ChatGPT and we made some really good helper functions.
Nice.
And I even got praise from the framer team for my solution. Or my in quotation marks, because I asked them like, how would you do, like, how would you, I think it was like caching data, and I was like, what is the what is the intended way for us to do this and framer overrides? And they were like, yeah, we don't really have a way, or like what we call best practices. We don't really have any best practices on it yet, and we'd be interested in see what you solve or how you do it. And then I copy pasted it, and I was like, yes, me and ChatGPT rolling. But yes. But then we had an utter fail on Saturday when I tried to use the ChatGPT with a Printful API. I could not understand the Printful API. ChatGPT did not understand the Printful API. And we have not managed to make a mock towel. We managed to screenshot with Chris on stream during the week, because his product is stellar. But then we tried to use Printful API, and I think their product is pretty stellar as well, but it's just super big. And I think like we have to do a lot of setup before we're allowed to make a mock. I thought we could just like, I want a towel with this image on, give me a mock, but I had to make a product and a store and something and a variant and some SKU in there. And I was like, no. Total.
Yeah. Fail. Okay. Makes sense.
So I have to figure that out. So, but anyway, yeah, that was all my hands-on, heads-down work.
Nice. You've been pretty busy from the sound of it.
Thank you, because I feel like I haven't done anything, and then we did this like we all can do, and then I'm writing, and I'm like, yep, I did stuff. Things are moving forward. Oh yeah, I also published a new version of the Cloudinary Transformer Gatsby plugin.
Oh, that's an old project, right? I mean, I remember you worked on this a year ago, 2 years ago.
I think it's 3 years. So whenever they have a larger client request something, then the request comes to us.
Oh, it was even paid. That's nice.
Yeah. It was paid. Yeah. I don't do unpaid open source anymore.
Well, that's the way to do it, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, but that was all, or not all. But I see in the notes here, I know we're not good on time today, but I see in your notes that you've done something fun lately, which I want to hear about before we log off.
Yeah, I'm continuing to play the drums. Not sure if that's what you mean, but I consider this a lot of fun. So I'm not sure I mentioned this. I probably mentioned this, but in September or something like that, Michael Kopa of Nusi challenged me to set up my electronic drum set again because I had bought one years ago and then not really used it. And when we moved, I put it into boxes and that stayed for a while. And he challenged me to set it up again. And we did a course together back then, which was a little bit like, it was fun, but it was a little bit too hard for me at the end. So eventually I think he finished it and I didn't, because I just couldn't figure it out in the end. But we kept on drumming since then, and this month, actually this month, no, last month in May, there was a new course on independence, like independence of your limbs, arms and legs and stuff. And we did that, and I managed to do the entire course and kept practicing the drums for 4 weeks straight, almost every day. I only took a Saturday or two off, so that was fun. And it's amazing. It's amazing how brains work. So after the course was done, there wasn't like some extra lessons or like extra challenges. And I picked like one of the advanced ones, and I could not play the thing for an entire week. And then on Friday, not sure what happened, I kept practicing, and then we were on a call together and we were talking, and I was like just explaining how I can't do it, and try to show that I can't do it, and I was suddenly able to do it. It was like, well, shit, suddenly it worked. And for whatever reason, something in my brain must have clicked, because I've been able to play that exercise ever since, and a couple of other exercises that were too hard previously, I was able to figure out as well. So it's
It's almost like slow and steady practice works.
It's almost like slow and steady practice works, yeah. And it's amazing how brains work, because sometimes it's just like you start doing it and then you walk away not being able to do it and come back an hour later, or like just 10 minutes after talking to someone, and suddenly your brain has made some connections and you can orchestrate your limbs in weird ways that you couldn't do before. So I'm having a blast, and it's so much fun that I'm allowing myself to buy new gear now. So I ordered a proper carpet for the drum set, and I'm ordering a new. I just ordered a new pad for the like crash pad as a symbol. Hopefully, it will arrive soon to have even more fun.
Too bad you're both on the drums though, because otherwise I could see a little SAS band forming.
The SAS band, yeah.
At Microconf Europe.
Michael is starting to play. Like he's also having in-person lessons and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So he's playing in a small like student band by now. Mm-hmm. I feel like I'm still way off, but I don't care. It's like I don't want to become a rock star and tour the world. I just want to have some fun.
Yeah. That's good. That's a good note to end it on.
Yep.
See you around the interwebs.
Yep. See you. Bye.
Bye.